we are very fortunate that she and I, just as a mother-daughter relationship, do get along, and we do enjoy each other's company and have fun. And, I make time in my day to have coffee on the couch to sit and talk with her. The kids know when it's, time for my mom to commandeer the TV for her eye focus, because it helps her focus her eyes. She has optic neuritis and downbeat nystagmus, and MS affects her eyesight. My husband will go to her with questions and advice. We're very lucky that we all get along. And that's not to say that sometimes things can get difficult, like when I have to switch gears and be the decision maker caregiver. That can get hard. There's no denying that, but luckily we can, flip the light switch and resume mother-daughter relationship. And that's not to say that if somebody were to look in, they would go, this is a strange relationship in terms of interactions or discussions or how we talk to one another. I'm not saying it's poorly. We're very sarcastic. I still remember when my dad was alive and my boyfriend, now husband, and he came over for dinner, and he was coming over more often, so he was seeing more daily dynamics, discussions. And he was taken aback by how I had to talk mainly to my dad and how my parents would talk back to me. Because in the beginning of the caregiving journey that started at 16 and he came into my life at 21, those years were very dicey. It was very hard to find a good flow. I'm still the adolescent daughter starting a caregiving journey to an extremely stubborn person, my dad, who was in denial of things. And then my mom, who felt terrible for needing to be taken care of. My husband back then was very taken aback by the dynamic. And it is a difficult dynamic to be the daughter and the caregiver, and wanting to be in the daughter role, but having to be in the caregiver role. And there can be a whole other discussion of how that was thrust upon me, expected of me, demanded of me. And I had to change my life for it. So I have every reason to hold resentment, but I don't. But I'm trying to figure out what I want to say. Hang on. We do respect each other's boundaries. My mom to me, my mom to my husband, my mom to the kids, and we respect her boundaries and her needs. And we're very fortunate that this is not a chaotic, hostile environment. All in all, I think my kids just think they're growing up with grandma living at home. Like, this is just our family dynamic. That's all they've known. They're not necessarily looking at it as this is a caregiving situation. It's just a family unit. And I'm really proud of that, if that sounds cocky or something, but I'm really glad that's how it is, because I know in a lot of situations it's not, and I lived in the situation when it was not, when my dad was alive. The caregiving family scenario was extremely difficult. Another video altogether. So thank you for pinpointing that and realizing that, and I'm glad that that has come across in videos, because I don't want to misrepresent our situation. And that's not to say it is all rainbows and sunshine and it's like a musical where we're just bursting out into song about our love for one another. There are difficult moments, like when my mom had a UTI. Those were difficult moments of getting her to do what she needed to do and do it safely, and keeping an eye on her, and she's getting frustrated. I mean, that was a difficult time. And knock on wood, those are more rare than, not, or however that phrase is. And I don't take it for granted. And I know in a heartbeat it can change. So I try not to take it for granted. Okay, now I'm rambling, but yes, we have boundaries. We respect one another. We enjoy one another's company. Do we sometimes just want to rip our hair out over one another? Of course we do, but I think that's how it is in any family dynamic, caregiving and otherwise. It's just that sometimes I'm ripping my hair out over, please put into words what you're feeling so I can tell the doctor, versus, leave me alone, I want my space. So yeah, okay, it's time for coffee. I'll talk to you later. Bye.